Okay, I don't want to talk about the
Okay,
third movie.
that's it for Star Wars. Okay, I need to have. We need to talk about this.
Apa dia?
We need to talk about this. Aku rewatch Star Wars from. I'm not gonna rewatch the prequels. Okay, don't make me rewatch the prequels.
Why not? The prequels are cool now. People like the prequels now.
Yeah, which is weird as hell to me. I tried rewatching prequels.
Yeah, it's weird as hell for you. It's weird as fuck for me that those movies were garbage. The fuck?
Sampah. Please do not bring like prequel propaganda because I could watch from New Hope,
right?
To
all the way
Empire
up to
Strikes
Rise
Back,
of Skywalker,
Return of Jedi, sampai
Force Awakens.
The first two sequels The first two sequels.
Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
Yes, and I would say.
Wait, there are only two sequels. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and the podcast now. That's it.
End the podcast now.
Force Awakens bagi aku best gila, and it kind of blended with, because aku watch. I was a bit sick aku tak sihat, and I'm trying to rest betul-betul, so I just watch TV. So aku watch straight. So it blended well with the original. What do you call it? Original trilogy. Macam it gave me like the same feeling.
Yeah.
It gave Force Awakens. It gave me the same feeling. It gave me some promise.
Yeah.
And
it set up a lot of possibilities for future movies.
And the characters best. I kind of like Finn. I like what's the Ray kan? I like Ray. I even like who's the pilot guy?
Poe Dameron.
Yeah, the pilot guy. I like the robot yang bulat tu.
Right.
Man, it was a really good movie. It was a really nice setup.
Yeah, I agree.
And second movie, I would say, what I'm trying to say is the sequels had a lot of promise. They were good.
Right.
Until something happened. Right. You try not to talk. Just we don't need to talk about that. But the second movie is kind of like, aku pernah cakap dulu even lepas aku tengok the second, aku tengok kat wayang, I like this movie, but I'm not going to watch it again. Kau faham tak? It's like Game of Thrones. I'll watch it once.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm not going to go through it again.
There's not a lot of replay value for the.
But the first movie, Force Awakens, ada banyak replay value. So would you say that the sequels were actually good, in my opinion? The third movie, sad. It's sedih that the third, the closer of the trilogy happened.
The movie that we shall not
be named.
And we shall not besmirch this podcast with the name of that risible and reprehensible movie.
It had promised to be like super good, like the sequels.
Yeah, I mean, after I watched the Force Awakens, I was stoked because look, aku faham pasal apa movie tu dibuat macam tu, and I think that for the first movie at least, J.J. Abrams was a good choice because J.J. Abrams is above anything else. Dia ada dua benda je. Dia punya gimmick ada dua benda. Satu, dia punya mystery box, which is, both a blessing and a curse. And J.J. Abrams is, at his core, as a filmmaker, he's an homage artist. Dia suka buat pastiche. Dia macam, he's like a less subtle Quentin Tarantino sebenarnya. And he will latch on to someone's like oeuvre, and he will, I mean, let's not mince words. He likes to imitate.
Okay.
Macam one of his older movies, Super 8, was a complete even Spielberg ripoff, and that was like E.T. and Goonies and all that shit all rolled into one.
It's like good, but not quite there. Macam sebab
yeah, I mean, it's not quite there because we've seen it already.
Yeah.
And in the back of your mind, kau rasa macam, all right, this is cool, but this is cool mostly because it reminds me of something cooler. And for The Force Awakens, aku rasa it was necessary for Disney and Lucasfilm to like re-establish the Star Wars punya mystique, dia punya the original appeal of the original trilogy, and they got J.J. Abrams. I keep wanting to say J. Jonah Jameson. I'm sorry.
Holy, you better act right,
That would have been an awesome
my
movie
boy.
though. If J. Jonah Jameson
You
directed a
better
Star
act
Wars
right.
movie, and
Holy S. And that's a wash reference, by the way. That's a wash reference. I don't think generations can faham.
I need a cigar right now. But yeah, I mean, he was a good choice for The Force Awakens because they wanted to re-establish the Star Wars, not lore, but the feel, the excitement of that first movie, Episode 4 and A New Hope. And he recreated that almost beat for beat.
Yeah. Almost,
of course it was derivative. Of course it was an imitation. Of course it was like a carbon copy. But it was done well. And you have to give him credit for that. And the thing about first movies in a planned trilogy is that they're supposed to set up possibilities. And you would, after watching that, I was like, okay, lagi-lagi aku tahu yang Abrams was not going to direct the next two movies, so I was like, okay, so he set it up. It's a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what the next storyteller does with this premise.
The second director did apa namanya? Was he the
Knives
one who
Out.
did Rogue One?
No, that was Gareth Edwards. I actually interviewed Gareth Edwards in Japan.
Holy F. Balls.
That was before. No, but that was before he got involved in Star Wars. That was actually before he got tapped to
Monster. What was his first film?
Monsters. Yeah.
Best.
So I interviewed him about that, and that was before. That was right after he got signed up for Godzilla.
Okay.
He did Godzilla too, the one with Bryan Cranston.
I did not know this. Tak ingat pula.
Yeah. So I mean,
wait, kau interview untuk ni kan for text kan?
It was a magazine interview. So obviously you didn't see that. Yeah, because we all know. Kita semua tahu kau tak baca.
You need to know the background. I mean, what you call it? The law on me.
The law.
The law.
See, the thing that the irony is you don't know your law because you would have to read it.
Yeah, he had second director yang direct apa?
Knives Out.
That guy is quite good, I guess.
What was that movie that he did dengan Joseph Gordon-Levitt dengan Bruce Willis?
Brick was okay lah, but
what was it called?
Brick.
Bukan Brick.
Oh, bukan lah. Yang time travel. It involves time travel. Kan?
Yeah, that movie. Apa nama dia? God damn it, we're so bad.
Aku tak ingat, tapi aku tahu ada sawah padi and then muncul daripada tanah, stuff like that.
Bukan sawah padi lah gila.
Sawah jagung lah, Mak Saleh kan?
Sawah jagung. Let me pull this up. Lupa. Which is okay. Patut lah kita lupa pasal nama dia pun lupa kan.
Shish. Where's Manifest? Number one MC.
Bars. Straight bars, son.
Don DeMarco.
So yeah, I mean, although personally I think The Last Jedi is a better and more ambitious movie than The Force Awakens.
I kind of like The Last Jedi depends on the last film. You get me?
Exactly. Because
you're not going to watch Empire Strikes Back without Return of the Jedi. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, Rian Johnson got the assignment. He understood the assignment. That you're supposed to bridge the first and the third movies. Kan? So
nama dia Rian, dia Melayu ke?
Huh?
Nama dia Rian. I'm like,
mungkin dia orang Riau kot. Maybe that's his actual name, Riau Johnson. And
man, he had so much promise though.
Yeah. I mean, but The Last
people,
Jedi...
the reason aku nak bring this up is people always talk shit about the sequels. But to me,
macam ni. Let's be nice to the audience, kan? And I think do a brief recap of all three movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so that everyone is up to speed. I can't assume that everyone here is a rabid Star Wars fan. So I'll start. You go next, and then we might talk about the third one.
Okay.
The Force Awakens is basically a reboot, not reboot lah, like a continuation of the Star Wars saga. specifically the Skywalker saga, because that's what it ended up getting called. All 9 episodes. So the movie introduces us to a new protagonist. Nama dia Rey. She lives on a desert planet called Jakku. Dia macam she's an
Scavenger.
orphan, and due to what I would call Star Wars bullshit, it's she gets introduced to not only Finn, who is a former stormtrooper under the New Order, which is the new name for what is left of the Empire. She's introduced to the Resistance, which is what is now the Rebellion lah kot, but yeah, it's just new names for the same factions. And then she gets sucked into this whole intergalactic conflict. What is going on after the events of Return of the Jedi 30 years later. And then she meets Han Solo and Chewbacca and Princess Leia, who is now like
Leader.
Supreme OG status. And basically, I mean, Rey is the new Luke. If you know the original trilogy, then Rey is the new Luke. Simple as that. And it's a very straightforward movie. The new villain.
I think J.J. Abrams terbalik kan. She made Rey the new Darth Vader and Darth Vader baik and Kylo Ren the new Luke. Faham kan? The whiny guy is dia terbalikkan. It's the same thing but dia terbalikkan je. Simple je. Quite simple.
It's actually a very surface value inversion.
Simple.
I would say
straightforward lah bagi aku. Straightforward. Quite straightforward.
And the bad guy in the movie is Kylo Ren, who it turns out, spoilers for a movie that came out like 7 years ago.
By this time bukan spoilers lah. Kalau kau tak tengok salah kau lah.
Kan Kylo Ren, who is like a Darth Vader cosplayer sebenarnya, and it turns out that
fanboy.
Kylo Ren is actually Ben Solo, anak Han Solo dengan Princess Leia. So macam okay lah, dia macam man, I am your father dulu, sekarang dan I am your son. Macam okay fine,
semua terbalikkan je.
It's like poetry, it rhymes, fuck off. So that's the first movie. Okay, you take the second one.
Kau ajar. Aku tak rewatch the second one. What I remember is the second one, they just Rey pergi jumpa Luke to be a Jedi, and then Rey had something with Kylo Ren. Meanwhile, the rebels were fighting and
the rebels were on the run. Like they were
like, on the run from siapa nama General Hux. And Leia is prominent in this, but the leader. And he had one of my favourite scene, which I'm pretty sure ramai tak suka scene tu.
Scene apa?
Yang Leia terkeluar daripada spaceship. That was one of my favourite scene. Let's talk about that scene. Let's get to that.
There was on some anime shit, sel. Seriously,
let's get to that. Aku suka. I like that scene though. Because you know what? Let's talk about this. The original trilogy punya kelemahan is they really did Leia dirty.
They did.
You know Leia is a powerful force user, but they never. Instead, they put her in the bikini. Like what the fuck, though? What's wrong with?
Badass. No, regardless of whether or not she had force powers or Jedi training, Jedi. I mean, Leia was a fucking badass.
She's a badass.
But the movies did all they could in the original trilogy to downplay that as much as possible.
Tak ada dalam bikini. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with that generation, man?
I mean, to be fair, in the end, she did strangle Jabba the Hutt to death.
Because she has a strong, she has a strong force. Dia macam whatever that Rey had in the second movie, she had that, right? She's always the first to know.
Yeah.
She's always the first to know. She had internet. I'm saying back in the long time ago, galaxy far, far away, she had the internet.
I mean, in the original trilogy, they kind of sort of hinted that, she's a seasoned veteran in this conflict, so she has very good instincts. But yeah, I mean, once we found out that she was Luke's sister, so obviously the punya connection to the Force ada lah kan, because it runs in the family, or I suppose midichlorians.
I'm pretty sure like she has her own powers and to me, it did not come out of nowhere. Like, she probably could do that anyway. You never showed it. Dia dah tua. By this time, dia dah tua.
No,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, in the...
I'm just
the third
ignoring plot
movie
points about that's basically the plot kan. Basically the rebels the rebels were busy fighting with the Empire, and then these two like while Rey was practicing dengan Luke, she was having IRC, ICQ, MSN chat with Kylo Ren. And that's it lah kan. That is divided into two.
I mean, they slid into each other's DMs Right, yeah.
And to me, I don't really care about Kylo Ren, which is a weakness, I guess. But I thought Kylo Ren was cool in the first movie.
I think Kylo Ren was a good character throughout, up until he suddenly changed his mind about being evil lah, which was like for me.
But that happened in the original trilogy as well. Macam tiba mamat ni. Kau dah go this far, tiba kau nak jadi baik.
Siapa? You mean Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then yang tu ada pencetus dia nampak anak dia kena torture kan.
Yeah. Probably.
So at least ada lah sikit kat situ, and then they foreshadowed that with the conversation that they had on Endor. Okay, macam it's too late for me, son, apa segala benda tu semua kan. So ada lah sikit introspection kat situ. With Kylo Ren, it was just like tak nak baling lightsaber, jumpa hantu bapak dia, betul dia jadi hero.
To me, like the biggest villain in this Star Wars sequels were incels.
Yeah, I mean, what
they
did
spoiled
to...
the movie, man. And because of them, the third one tukar director, and then they had to do fan service, incel service, and it became shit lah. That's what you get lah. If that's what you wanted.
I know, but then but
Finn tak jadi apa-apa.
But like, incels on Twitter, incels on YouTube, semua kan, sure, they have a voice, kan, and they have a right to complain about whatever the fuck they want.
To remain silent.
But in the end, I think for me the party that really undermined the sequel trilogy was Disney dengan Kathleen Kennedy. I know.
Dengan exact kan. It's the right timing It's the strike kan sekarang. So it's the right timing. It's the right time to be pissed off at execs lah.
No, because Disney paid like $4 billion for Lucasfilms. Yeah, that's not a small amount of money. That's a lot of money for sure. And then they kept Kathleen Kennedy as basically the Kevin Feige of Lucasfilms. And she oversaw all the projects.
Yeah, I can vape, right?
You can. I mean, you know.
You see my vape?
I can drink, kan? Good.
Okay, continue.
No, I mean, aku rasa they got cold feet. Diorang takut sangat.
Yeah, definitely.
And Disney especially lah. I mean, I can't even put that on Kathleen Kennedy, because Disney was like, okay, we paid so much money. Anything we put out should automatically be a roaring success, which is not how you make movies, Disney. I can't believe I'm saying that. I have to say that to a 100-year-old movie studio, but what the fuck? And there was no plan, and there being no concrete plan or roadmap for all 3 movies, that I put on Kathleen Kennedy, because they macam panic. They were like, okay, we've just been bought. I mean, speaking about Lucasfilm again, we've just been bought. The pressure is on for us to like deliver a box office hit after box office hit after box office hit. I don't have time to like sit down in pre-production for like 6 months to a year to like work this all out. Let's just start doing things now. And that's what happens. And cerita dia macam pasal benda tu tak ada plan. Kalau lepas satu movie orang ada complaints, lepas tu kau tak ada plan, kau boleh tukar. Kau akan tukar. Kau akan adjust kan. Kau nak jadi macam bespoke artisanal boutique, nak cater to the whims and fancies of your fans. Tak boleh.
You have to do your own thing, work. Man.
I mean, you know,
kau ingat George Lucas kisah apa kau fikir? Kan?
George Lucas does not give a fuck.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Just look at the prequels. He does not give a fuck.
And then what happens is Finn, like, what's the point of Finn?
Exactly.
And then what's the point of Rey? I would have loved if Rey was some random person Which is I think the route they were going for kan, according to the first.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, when the second movie came out, when the Last Jedi came out, and that was the end of it for me. Kan macam the story was like, okay, Rey, you're not anyone special. You're not
that would have been
Luke's
beautiful.
long lost daughter ke? You're not Obi-Wan's granddaughter ke? You're not Admiral Akbar's niece ke? Tak ada.
No.
You're just a regular person, and that was
Admiral
so
Akbar
powerful.
would be cool. Admiral Akbar's niece.
I mean, if you
crossbreeding shit kan.
Tengok mata dia terbujul kan, tiba-tiba. that was a force power.
Bagi aku Rey badass. So I mean, but you know the incels did not like a strong female
because
presence.
she's a girl. Because she's female.
And I didn't understand. Remember at the beginning they were saying Mary Sue. She's a fucking scavenger though. She had to fight off gangsters and kau rasa dia Mary Sue. She was already skilled. Macam Luke, his skills was pilot. Betul tak? Ingat tak?
Luke Skywalker,
farmer pilot.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. The events of the first movie of Episode 4, A New Hope, kan? I would generously give it like about a week from start to finish, kan? The events of that movie happened over the course of a week. So in 1 week, Luke Skywalker went from living on a moisture farm on Tatooine to blowing up the fucking Death Star single-handedly. So kalau kau nak cakap pasal Mary Sue, diam lah. Tolong lah diam. Kau mengaku je lah kau tak suka tengok perempuan yang ada agency, yang ada power, yang ada kebolehan. Pasal kau rasa setiap kali kau jumpa perempuan yang ada kebolehan, konek kau kecil. Okay, newsflash, konek korang memang kecil. Live with it. Size doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
But and I feel so bad for Kelly Marie Tran. I mean, okay lah. To be fair, her character was not that strong. Okay, macam I didn't really understand why they put her in The Last Jedi, other than to distract from the possibility that Finn and Poe could be gay for each other.
I like that.
Which would have been fine.
I'm straight, but I like that whole thing.
Biar kalau dia nak hook up. Yeah.
I like that whole dynamic. I'm heterosexual. I've watched too much heterosexual shit. I don't mind watching, something new.
It would be interesting to see, kan? And it would be it would have been like, in the long run, it would have been a milestone for pop culture, for a Star Wars movie.
That would have been dope, man.
Two male lead characters being in love with each other. And why the fuck not?
I like that chemistry. Yeah.
I mean, they added Rose solely so that Finn could like interact with a female and possibly fall in love with her.
And that guy pun nothing happened to him. Like what? Nothing.
In the end, tak ada apa.
Tak ada apa.
In the third movie, they didn't even speak to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, right?
So that pisses me off. It had so much promise.
Yeah.
And the third movie, let's not get to that. No, I mean, because the third movie is actually like 8 movies all jumbled up into one. Yeah.
And
the only thing I like about the third movie was it reminded me of Hong Kong comics, because dia ada banyak hikmat macam boleh tarik ke tebal.
Yeah.
But what's the point? I mean, the story tak best semua. But I like that part. Only that part. Otherwise,
I mean, that should have been named Star Wars Episode 9 Deus Ex Machina. Pasal benda tu ada je benda tiba-tiba kan.
It's like low budget Hong Kong comic movie. Like not even Storm Riders, like Storm Riders 5 unofficial sequel, Kau ingat Storm Riders kan? Storm Riders. Do you remember Storm Riders? Dia pedang setiawan. Which is a decent Hong Kong comic movie. So this is like a really bad version of Storm Riders.
No, okay lah. The third movie for me was like main belasah je korang nak buat apa.
Teruk gila tu. Macam everyone started acting pun teruk tau. Macam how did everyone yang best gila the first 2 movies semua macam ada karakter, suddenly dia orang tukar jadi this sitcom characters, cartoon characters.
No,
bad cartoon
this is my guess. I'm guessing that when they were out there shooting, and I don't think the script was finalized. So no one from behind the camera to in front of the camera knew what the fuck they were doing. I mean that's what I got. That's the impression that I got from the third movie. Yeah, okay, macam semua macam bukan nak kata ad-lib lah, tapi macam there's no context to what they say.
Mad-lib.
You couldn't tell what kind of context they were dealing with from scene to scene. Yeah, and which is why you saw so many characterization swings for each main character, especially Kylo Ren. And dia punya apa detik insaf dia tu macam, why did this happen? Why did this happen here? When did it start happening? And what is your thought process? What was the inciting incident?
I think
for you
better stop before we start talking about the third movie. I think we need to stop.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to talk about the
okay,
third movie.
That's it for Star Wars. That's my main gripe is people always talk shit about sequels. I think the sequels definitely better than the prequels overall.
Yeah, definitely.
First two movies solid. Just could have been better lah. Tak apa lah.
I mean, okay, I want to say something about the prequels juga lah. I mean, okay. I know a lot of people who were much younger when they first watched the prequels, and for them, the prequels were the first Star Wars movies they watched. They have a certain sense of nostalgia for them now because they're older, and that's natural and that's fine. And I respect that, and I completely think that's a valid take. For you as a Star Wars fan who started out with the prequels, as someone, okay, and I am not trying to say this as someone who started out with the original trilogy, even though I am, but divorced from that, as objective as I can be, as an objective film fan, those movies were bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay for you to like bad movies, but you have to admit those movies were fucking terrible.
Yeah.
The dialogue was bad. The pacing was bad. The effects were bad. I mean, it's okay. Sayang. Memang sayang. Aku pun sebenarnya sayang juga prequel sikit-sikit.
Yeah. I like Teen Wolf. I like, but
yeah, and those were bad movies.
I loved it, but yeah.
Tapi mengaku je lah, movie tu, the prequel movies were horrible, okay? that whole monologue about sand, apa lancau weh. Kalau kau nak defend lah benda-benda yang bermutu sikit. Ni tak berbaloi. Anyway,